Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. We're going to get started with our first two congregational songs. Here we go.
I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking, talking with the mind, stayed on spirit. Walking, talking with the mind, stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hit your neighbor in your mind, stayed on spirit. Hit your neighbor in your mind, stayed on spirit. Hit your neighbor in your mind. Stayed on spirit, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You love everybody in your heart. Stayed on spirit, you love everybody in your heart. Stayed on spirit, you love everybody in your heart. Stayed on spirit, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. This morning in my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, I'm gonna let my little light shine. Everywhere that I may go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere that I may go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere that I may go, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, I'm gonna let my little light shine. Let that light shine on through. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine on me and shine on you. I'm gonna let it shine. Let show what the power of love can do. I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day, every day, every day, one day, every day, every day, I'm gonna let my little light shine. Monday gave me the gift of love. Tuesday peace came sure enough. Wednesday told me to have more faith. Thursday gave me a little more grace. Friday told me to sing and pray. Saturday told me what to say. Sunday gave me power to find to let my little light shine. Sing it with me now. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, I'm gonna let my little light shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Good morning, and good morning. Welcome to Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. I want to welcome everyone who's joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Zoom, and here in the room. All right. So those of you that are joining us for the first time, you are our guests, wherever you are. And so let me remind us of who we are and share with you, our guests, who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the very diversity of creation. We strive to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. We engage in spiritual practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, one another, and the world. And we experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, talents, and treasures. And we intentionally, on purpose, shamelessly promote our community and our teachings. And one of the ways that you can participate in promoting this community and our teachings is by sharing this live stream on whatever social media platform that you play on. You can also go to our YouTube page, grab the link for the video feed or the playback after the fact, and email that or post that to your feed at any time. So one of the things that we do, and actually before I lead into that, let me just acknowledge I am aware that that little buzz is back. It left for 2 weeks and it found its way home, and so we're working to evict it again. And so I just simply wanted you to know that I am aware that it's there, and I wish I knew how to help you navigate it, but you're on your own. But I know within you is the divine wisdom to just make it not be a part of your attention. So, all right. So one of the things that we do every Sunday morning to participate consciously in this thing of inclusion is our inclusion candle lighting ritual. And we light these candles to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the ways of foundational spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for Taoism, honoring the path of ultimate reality, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the middle way and path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the teachings of Jesus as the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought teachings, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles of love and law. We light the 10th candle for absolute inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome and celebrated here. And we light this 10th candle, this final candle, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. You know the mask works when you can't blow out the candle. All right. So I invite you right where you are, lift your voice, join in as we sing our next community song. Let's fill this planet with joy. Here we go.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing peace today. I choose compassion. I choose compassion today. I choose compassion today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I choose compassion today. I choose abundance. I choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I choose today. I'm choosing heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven.
What a joy it is that we get to choose heaven today, tomorrow, every day. All right. So this is our time of announcements, and I'm going to find out what I'm announcing as it comes up on the screen. There we go. All right. So I'm still doing the morning meditation and prayer Tuesday through Saturday from 8 to 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. Every once in a while, technology says, no, you're not, like the other morning when it was snowing and the electricity said, nope, we're leaving for a minute. So it's happening, and just know that sometimes things happen outside of my control. That means you don't get to participate. But there is a wealth, a bank of meditations on our YouTube page, because this has been happening since March of 2020. So there is a whole lot of material there for you to meditate with, should you choose. Still doing our Tuesday Actualizing Wholeness discussion group. It's really quite indescribable. What I will tell you is that we show up without an agenda, and something sparks, some topic sparks, and we just go with it. We open to knowing the truth, the infinite wisdom that is within, without any agenda to come to any conclusion about anything. And it is so freeing and so powerful. And what I will tell you is that the work of it, the unfolding of it, continues far beyond what we do on Tuesday. It just ignites something that keeps going. So I invite you to join us. Come play with us. All right, Saturday, March 20th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the practitioners are hosting a virtual vernal equinox celebration. The first part of that will be a ritual and visioning process, and then the last hour and a half or so will be an opportunity for you to pray with ministers and practitioners that are present from the Sierra Center community. We will utilize the Zoom breakout rooms, so you will be one-on-one in a private space with whoever you're praying with, and you get to come back into the main room and go back into as many private rooms and pray with as many different practitioners and ministers as you can stand. You can just get so prayed up, but we don't drive afterwards because you might be in a slightly altered state. But come join us. It's absolutely free, and we would love for you to come spend time with us. We are open. Hey, I'm in the doorway. We are open on Wednesdays and Sunday. The Wednesday night is Ask the Rev Anything, and Sunday morning service is exactly what we're here doing right now. We do ask that you sign up ahead of time, and we're not going to turn you away if you don't, unless there's already 15 people, and then we will have to turn people away after that. We are capped because of the space at 15 folks joining us, so we'd love to have you. Please sign up. Come see us. Wednesday evening, Ask the Rev Anything. We're filling this wheel up with questions, and then we're just going to spin it, and wherever it lands, that's what we'll talk about. It's designed to be a discussion interchange. I do enough talking on Sunday. Let's us all talk together on Wednesday. Our values clarification, we are in the next step of that, and a couple of you have responded. This is the exact slide that you'll see in the newsletter. All you have to do is click on that. It'll take you to the Survey Monkey, where what I'm asking you to do for this round, we've narrowed it down from 120 to 40. And so now select your top 10 values that you feel represent Sierra Center for Spiritual Living as its own entity. All right. So we're going to move on. This is our time of inward shift. And so I invite you to simply allow all of the distractions to fall away. If you're driving, please do keep your attention on your driving. To allow yourself to go inward into that inner sanctuary where the divine alone meets our humanness. We're going to enter. Today's contemplative reading is from Asian American lecturer Phoebe Ng. Risk itself is a process of constant unfolding, and taking risks is the process of peeling back the layers of what you are and who you want to be. The day comes when remaining the same becomes more painful than the risk to grow. And when that happens, there are many goodbyes. We leave old patterns, old friends and lovers, old ideas, and some cherished beliefs. Loss and growth are so often one and the same.
deeper anchoring into the silence, recognizing the one power, the one presence that I call this day the Great Spirit, the Great Mystery, that universal intelligence that is beaming, articulating, reigning supreme in and through and as all of creation. It is the heartbeat of all of life, and it is beating my heart now. It is breathing me. And so I accept a reveling in this interconnectedness, this heartbeat that I speak of, that we share together. It is perfect peace. It is perfect joy. It is love actualized in and through and as all that is seen and all that is unseen. So I speak a word joyfully this morning from this place of truth, of this place of recognition of what is happening right here and right now. That there is only one out picturing of this thing, the thing itself. It is present in and through and as every smile, every place of joy, every place of light, every point of light. And so I joyfully recognize this morning, as we gather here in spiritual community, that this love light is expressing perfectly as each one present. I give great thanks for our beloved Juanita this morning and her expression of love for this center, for our beloved Reverend Rafe and his message, for our beautiful, beautiful being that is present right here, right here in this room with us. So thankful that she's here. I'll speak her name, Valerie. Thank you, Valerie. So grateful for all that is wanting to be known. So grateful to know that all needs appearing to be unmet are met. That the expression of this power and presence is finding its way in and through and as all that is needed in every spot. This thing is present. So I'm so thankful and grateful this morning. And I release into that activity of love and law, recognizing there is no waiting period, that everything spoken is already done, even greater than I could speak this morning. So I just allow it to be so, and I anchor it by saying, and so it is. Well, good morning, beautiful people. My name is Deborah Ellis, and I am honored and privileged to be in service to this center, Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. So wherever you're joining us from, welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the affirmation, and then we're going to read it together. So I'm going to read it once through, and then we'll do that together. So here we go. The more I release, the more good I experience. The more I release, the more good I experience. Blessed be. Welcome this day. We're glad you're here.
When I was a boy each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest, and he would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything's holy now. Everything's holy now. everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small. I need that magic trick. Is there anything is here at all? So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, to find out whether it's in one. But holy water was rare at this. My baby wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of death. Used to be a world half there, every second rain hand me down. Now I walk with the reverend hell, 'cause everything is holding out. Questioning a child's face, say it's not a testament, that it be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament, I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out of it. How things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holding out. There used to be a world half there, that heaven's red second rate handed down. But I walk with the reverend hell, 'cause everything is holding out. 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 Everything is holding out.
Let's take a breath together. So we're continuing with our yearly theme, Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. And so the timeless wisdom piece that we're working with comes from our statement of what we believe. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature of each person, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. The evolutionary vision piece that we're looking at this month comes from our global vision statement for Centers for Spiritual Living. We see a world in which every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. This month we're looking at open to possibilities. And last week we looked at the visioning process, living in the question, a higher ideal, a higher idea. And this week we're looking at release and let go. Because you can catch the most perfect clarity of vision, and if there's no room for it in your life, it's never going to be yours. It's going to be an idea that frustrates us, that creates discontent, because until we make room for it, it's always just out of reach. And the reality of it is we experience it as out of reach. But what's really happening is there's simply no room in our container of consciousness for it. Okay? Imagine you have a 2-car garage. And you win a contest that gives you a brand new car. And one of the caveats of the contest is that your new car, upon delivery, must be parked in your garage. And you already have 2 cars in there. Something has to be moved out or the new car to be moved in. Yes? And I wonder how many of us would miss the opportunity for the new car while we try to figure out which one to take out of the garage. Which one am I less attached to? Which one runs the best? Which one is going to last the longest? And in the meantime, the new car shows up, there's no spot in the driveway, and the delivery truck just simply drives away. It's not going to stop and say, hey, you need to move one of those, because that was the condition of the contest, that there be a space for it when it arrives. My experience is that this thing called creation works very much the same way. See, when fulfillment arrives, it's not waiting for me to make room for it. It's coming to fill an opening, and if there's no opening, it keeps moving on until it finds the opening. See, I think we have to really get to the place where we understand that there really is only one thing happening, and it is one creator that simply desires to create. That you and I, this lectern, these chairs, the floor, the microphone, it's all God desiring to express in the form of this stuff. And so it does. And the expression of divinity will not be denied. It's going to express somewhere. The question is it going to express in you, as you? Are you willing to move out the ideas that your ego really, really likes? The ideas and the images that keep you safe in this human realm, that keep you comfortable this human realm. One of my favorite emails that I have ever gotten as a minister goes something like this. You're brilliant. Your talks are amazing. You bring new information that I've never considered, and it makes me really uncomfortable. I don't want to grow. I just want to let you know I'm not coming back. It's just a brilliant honesty, but at least the individual knew, hey, this is what's happening, and I am in no way, shape, or form willing to let go of anything to make room for something new. Thanks, but no thanks. How often do we do that unconsciously? Now, kudos to this individual for having the awareness and the integrity to communicate. This is where I'm at. It ain't happening. I still have that email. And I know if I look at my own life, there are so many moments where I could have stepped into bigger. But this idea of arguing for our limitations, which is just, see, I can't even say that anymore without laughing, but I do it on some level every day, right? It's that place where we acknowledge, yeah, that's great, but I know, I have this amazing idea, but. And perhaps the first step in this release and let go process is to get our butts out of our way. Are we willing to get our own butt out of our way? Because it's much easier to get other people's butts out of our way. You notice that? Because other people will butt us too. Yeah, that's a great idea, Rev, but, and then they tell you all the reasons why it won't work. And those have some power, but only the power I give them. And essentially, it's true with my own butts. It's just that my own butts operate most often at a level of unconsciousness. I'm too old, I'm too tired, I'm too poor, I live in the wrong place, I don't have the right vehicle. Even if I do that, no one's going to show up, yada, 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 yada. Whatever it is. If I step into that, what about my marriage? If I step into this, what about my kids? I don't have the education to do that. You ever read the perfect job description? And you're reading through it and you know it's you. And you get to that part of the education and it actually says master's level preferred. But all you see is master's level that you don't have. You miss the word preferred. Doesn't say you have to have it. It says they want it. And so we walk away from the opportunity without even trying. What I can tell you is that there are a lot of people working their perfect job that don't match the job description. Perhaps we can let go. And underneath it, it's what you're letting go of is not their job description. What you're letting go of is that part of you that cues in on why you can't have what you want. That subconscious part of us that looks for it, that's instead of being so excited that everything about this job description fits me perfectly, that I don't even see that they want a master's degree, we're scanning. Yeah, there it is. And we actually experience a weird sense of negative celebration when we find the reason why we can't do it. Because it validates some deep belief that says, I knew it. I knew there was something there. I just had to find it. For visioning to work, we have to make space for it. One of the actual questions in visioning is, what must I release? What must I release? Now, those of you that have been hanging out with me for any length of time know that I'm pretty radical and pretty ridiculous in this human realm sometimes. So I'm going to invite you to release one thing. Everything. See, instead of trying to pick and choose, just let go of all of it. Let go of your idea of who you are and where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to look like and what you're supposed to do every day. Who you're supposed to be in relationship with, what job you're supposed to be working. Let go of all of it. At night, before you fall asleep, surrender everything in physical form. Let it go. So that you wake up with a clean slate. Let go of the people that you love the most. Just let them go. Because the truth of the matter is, we can't hold them in place anyway, and why would we? And the other beautiful part of it is, in the truth of oneness, in the eternality of life, we can't lose them either. The form may change. I've had many jobs. Some of them I anticipated the change in form. Some of them I did not. Okay. I've had many relationships. Some of them I anticipated the change in that relationship. And some of them I did not. And in this moment, at 10:45 a.m. on March 14th, 2021, everything in my life is just fine. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's just plain perfect. Now, am I done living? No. But all of those things that I spent so much time worrying about and trying to hold on to aren't here. And yet my life is amazing. And I suspect that had I dragged all of that forward, I wouldn't be living this life right now. I'd be living a different life. But I wouldn't be happy. Because part of this thing called happiness is continual evolution of expression. And I cannot evolve without moving forward. We can't. I want to wrap up with this. Remember that visioning is asking the question, what is the divine's highest idea of its life as me? And then this week, begin to play with, what do I have to let go? What do I have to release to make room for the delivery? And I'll end with this. We have this wonderful saying here on planet Earth that the first step is the hardest. No, it's not. No, it's not. First step's piece of cake. We take it all the time. Any of you that are basketball fans know that it's the second step that actually changes things. Because the first step is my pivot foot. I haven't gone anywhere. I look really busy, right? I'm doing all kinds of things, but I haven't gone anywhere. It's the second step. It's moving the pivot foot. It's letting go of my position of safety and comfort that allows for newness. I invite you. You can look at it from every angle you want. Or you can move that second foot and make room for it. You're at choice. And your choice is neither good nor bad, right nor wrong. It's simply your choice. And what is there to express will find expression somewhere. If it's yours, claim it. Release, make room for it. Let's take this into prayer. Knowing there is one infinite, ever-present allness. Knowing it is pure love, absolute wholeness, perfection, complete within itself. I know that it is the infinite intelligence that knows exactly how to create, what to create, when to create it. I know that its only desire is to express. And so all of creation is the multiplicity and infinite possibility of its desire to express in form made manifest. I know that I am that. That this one power, this one presence, I am made out of it, by it, to be it. It thinks my thoughts, it dreams my dreams, it breathes my breath. It is the very heartbeat within my being. The activity of my soul is the activity of creation unfolding as me. So I speak my word, claiming, affirming, recognizing that what is true of me is true of every divine expression. That perfection is already present. That wholeness is already present. There's nothing to add. Simply more to open to being. So I open to the mystery of this journey beyond what I can conceive of in my human brain. I open to those divine nudges that say, go here, receive this, let go here. And I step into a faith that simply does that. No longer content to hold on to the anchors of limitation. I speak a word for all of humanity, that the oneness of humanity is opening to an awareness of its perfection. Opening to an awareness and an experience that there is no other. That what is seen in one is present in all. The glory and the shadow. Knowing that life unfolds as it's spoken, I know and I celebrate that the word spoken is the word fulfilled. I speak a word of gratitude, knowing, feeling, sensing the resonance in my being. That life is always life. That perfection is always perfection. The eternality of life never changes. And so I release, I let go. And I invite you, if any any of this has resonated with you, even at the level of vibration beyond understanding, that you open to it. Claim it as your own as we say together, Amen. Amen. Shalom. Aho. Ashe. And so it is. Let's take another breath together. So this is our time of intentional giving. And if you were here in the room, there's a basket available for you to give your gift in. We also make it as easy as we can for you to give virtually. You just simply go to our website, www.sierracenter.org. Scroll across the top to donate, and you can give there. You can also give by mailing your contribution to Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, Post Office Box 2714. I made that up. 2714 Grass Valley 95945. You can also call the center here to leave a message, and Juanita will get that on her day in and help you out with that. So let's read our intentional giving affirmation together, shall we? I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. So I want to take a moment to say thank you. We have 2 flowers this morning. Feel like Vanna White all of a sudden. These are from Sharon, Joy, and from Kate. So thank you both, beloveds, for your flower gift this morning. And remember, if you want to join us, you can. And if you don't, that's okay. Because one thing for sure, in this time as we unfold a new iteration of Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, there's a lot of letting go. Whatever existed before, we build on it. But we got to let it go. We got to make room for the new, because that's what evolution does. So I invite you this week, I'll get the newsletter out later this afternoon, but to really take this idea of what must I release into your spiritual practice this week. What are you holding on to that's limiting you? If I can help you let that go, give me a shout. I am right here with you. All right, so let's sing out with our Let's Work Together song, and I will see you on Zoom after the song.
1, 2, 3, 4.